Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope my fellow YouTubers are doing well. I want to talk about something for this video that if the shoe had been on the other foot, or if this had happened to anyone else, it would have been groundbreaking world news immediately, and not only would it have shattered every single headline, not only would it have done that, but it would also have shattered the pedestal of the politicians that it surrounds. But because it's certain individuals, there's no issue, right? There's no issue. No. I've seen some of the I'm not going to share them at all on here because I can't, nor will I. I've seen some of the alleged pictures and some of the screenshots people have shared of the videos that are on Hunter's computer. The guy also that obtained the computer made 3 to 5 copies from what I heard. I'm hearing different numbers. I don't know which one's correct. Some say 3, some say 5. But I'm not sure which one, but either way, glad he made copies once he found out what was on there. When he was fixing his computer, transferring files over, he found this. I did see pictures of Hunter Biden smoking crack. He looks like a drug addict, by the way. I mean, yeah, anyone out there can get over things from the past. You know, they do something bad, they do something wrong, they change, they're a changed person. No, he's an he's a elected official's relative who is in politics and continues to do these types of actions while supposed to be on his best action, on his best, right? Supposed to be on your best when you are in that type of work. Right, like that really happens. But let me elaborate a little bit about what happened. They found images and videos of him doing sexually explicit actions that you see all over the internet anyway, that people can find in the blink of a moment on the internet. But normally when a politician is involved in something like this, heck, the president, before he was even in office, because they look back at things he did, sexual things that he had done, to get him in trouble. They looked back at things that he had done before he was ever in office to get him in trouble. And yet, these are current politicians. Hold on, my phone's messing up. That was the cat. These are current politicians, and they don't even get a single slap on the wrist over it. No, they don't get a slap on the wrist. They don't even get a slap on the wrist. They get a, you're fine, let's just move on, by the FBI. But yet they spent years investigating this current administration for something he'd done years in the past. Many things, and had become a changed person since then. They investigated him for things that he did, and even made lies up about him about Russians and Russian females, the scandals they made up. But yet, they find actual evidence on this guy, and he gets off scot-free. Here's what really annoys me about this. The FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who supposedly upholds everyone else to the greatest of standards and investigates into the slightest thing upon anyone else, didn't do a thing about this. There are files supposedly, according to officials, and the New York Post and New York Times and Washington Post, Washington Examiner, stating that Hunter actually had sexual relations with children. Little Chinese children. Little girls. Little children, they say. But yet, anyone else, an 18-year-old, has relations with a 17-year-old, they can essentially face prison time. Which is insane to think that Hunter can do something like this, and all of these top officials can do whatever they want and sweep it under the rug. The FBI has the computer and the hard drive since last December, when they decided to put this virus out and distract us with something completely different, mind you. Think about it. Think about it. You know, it's really sad, really. Anyone else does things with a girl who, a teenage girl, or even in society. I've seen it all over the news. I've seen it all over the news. Someone does something with a teenage girl, they're arrested. Hunter does things with children, he goes scot-free. Epstein had an island, even a ritual building that they wouldn't let anyone into. He did things with children, young girls, very extremely underage girls. Not just like, oh, they're 1 year under 18 or they're 2 months under 18. No, I mean like children, 8, 10-year-old children. I mean, it was the things that they said would happen on Epstein's island. And all the dignitaries and the top officials, government officials, everyone, they all went to his island. Bill Clinton even went there multiple times. Our current president, they said he was slated to go there for a business meeting once, and when he found out what was going on, he left. What does that tell you? And he tried to report them, and they told him no. They just dropped it. Our current president mentions Jesus Christ and God, and he's put in as a horrible person. He's touted as the enemy. Tell me one horrible thing he's done to destroy this nation. They say he's tearing this nation apart. Tell me one horrible thing. I got a story relating to undocumented immigration that affected a family member of mine that I'm going to tell you about very, very soon, and probably in the next video. But guess what? The undocumented immigrants got off scot-free. They got off fine. No problem. We were to do something like that, we'd be in prison for just never mind. But still, they're saying they found Hunter engaged in sexual acts with multiple women while smoking crack. They also found him engaged in sexual acts with children, Chinese children, and other children. Now, anyone else, that would be a damaging, I'll just say, piece of evidence in the court of law. The fact that our own Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, has actually gotten into investigations of an 18-year-old being with a 17-year-old, or or think it's odd for a person who is a few years older to be with a younger girl, or you know what I mean. The fact that they actually have investigated and arrested people for consensually being with a younger girl, and I'm not condoning anything. I'm comparing and talking about how the system is so unfair and crooked. I'm not stating any opinions. I'm stating facts. They've arrested people for a lot less, I'll say. There was a case in, I forgot where, but there was a state where this guy was arrested. The parents consented to the relationship. They were planning on marrying each other when they were of legal age. But what happened was he got arrested because of some issue. The boy got arrested because she was underage or something. They were both in high school. But the boy gets arrested, and yet Hunter Biden gets by with being with children. It's so sad. And then they call what we say lies. But they say they have incriminating evidence on those files, and yet the bottom line is the FBI goes after people for a whole lot less. But they're just going to let him go scot-free. The police go after people for a whole lot less. The government goes after people for a whole lot less. The FBI, the CIA, the heaven forbid you don't you have a tax issue. Right? Heaven forbid that. But yet they get by with tax evasion, so much issues. And who knows? I don't know about this administration's taxes. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I just know their policies. I know the policies. Because believe me, they all do it. All those rich elites do manipulate their taxes. But yes, anyone else, the IRS would be all over them. But I want to state, Hunter had incriminating things on that hard drive. The FBI didn't do anything. The FBI let him go scot-free with no investigation all this time until it went public. Then they still remain silent on it. They still remain completely silent on this even after there is incriminating evidence released. Now, what does that tell you? It's really sad. Very sad. They say there was rape, manipulation, blackmail, extortion. They said he had and molestation of children. And I don't mean just like, oh, a young girl, a teenage girl. I mean children, they say. They say Chinese children. Ugh, I mean, this happens all the time with those people. Anymore, Biden reminds me of like one of the Leviathan. He reminds me of the Leviathan on Supernatural. If you don't know what the Leviathan are on Supernatural, look it up. Like Dick Roman and being replaced just a meat puppet in a meat suit. Pretending to be a politician, but he's taken over by something evil. And you can see that. No one's going to go unless they're on some major drugs. That's why he refused to take a drug test before the debates. No one's going to go from well, you know the thing. We hold these truths to be self-evident. Oh man, you know the thing. We're talking like that to. We have one thing that we must remain confident that I believe that the American people will unite together and do what's right. All that junk. He's not going to go from I forgot to I'm talking like this right here and I'm holding up for the rights of the people, the American people, and I am this, that, and the other. I mean, before he couldn't even say the name of the previous administration. He said, the president, my boss told me. Really? I mean, you're not going to go from that to being able to speak thoroughly. Unless you're on some medication, have a chip put in your brain for cognitive initiation, cognitive ability to get the motor neurons transmitting proper signals in your brain in order to cognitively function like a normal human being and present yourself as a professional politician suddenly. You don't just go from not being able to speak and barely walking without falling over to just walking and running up a plane, steps of a plane. You should see that video where he was running up the steps of a plane. I mean, something is wrong. Either that or he's been replaced. And you know what I mean? But yeah, it's all a big scam. It's all a big scam. And it's sad. There's incriminating evidence against Hunter. There's even emails from Hunter saying about meetings with his dad with foreign dignitaries and foreign leaders like Russia, China, and other countries, other nations, saying, we thank you for the opportunity of meeting with my father. And also, other countries said, that Hunter is like a very good mediary. He's a very good businessman. He's like a mafia member that is able to connect. They said he is a good connection. If you want connections, Hunter's like the connection to business and crime, basically. That's what other countries are stating. Hunter's the man for connection. He's spoken to the mafia, gang members, world leaders. He has molested and raped children according to the allegations put out by several officials, and according to the individuals who investigated that laptop hard drive, he extorted women, extorted multiple females, they said. They said he was engaging in sexual acts with those females and then would threaten to release the pictures and videos of what he was doing if they didn't do exactly what he said, which is blackmail and extortion. Anyone else would be investigated and sent to prison over this. I'll be back with more another time. Don't want to keep going on too long for this video. So peace and signing out. Links below if you'd like to show support. Give your opinions.